Lebanese girl. There's almost a war in the Middle East. Tell us what is going on. You read the Lebanese press. You can give us a Lebanese point of view.
Okay, so first, what is happening? A lot is happening. That's one. In Gaza, the Israel started an operation that it called it Operation Pillar Cloud, and then it changed it to Operation Pillar of Defense. It started on the 14th of this month, and every day, martyrs have been being registered, and Israel is just completely losing it. But it is important this time to note that Tel Aviv, for the first time in its history, has been hit by rockets coming from Gaza. I would also like to point out that these rockets are Iranians, and also we should never forget the help that Syria and Hezbollah are giving to the resistance and have given to the resistance in Palestine over the years. And like Sayyid Hassan yesterday noted in his speech, that Iran, Hezbollah, and Syria have never let down Palestine and will never let down Palestine in the future. Now, yeah.
Well, I mean, what I read in the headlines are about Egypt, Turkey, Qatar, talking with Hamas.
Yeah.
So obviously there's some alignment there, or not?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. For example, let's take Turkey, for example. It said that Israel is a terrorist state, which is true. It really is a terrorist state. But when it comes from a country like Turkey, it is a bit of. I find Turkey being a hypocrite. Why? Because itself it is funding the terrorists in Syria. So when a terrorist says another state is terrorist, it doesn't really have any value. For example, for Egypt, Morsi visited Gaza, and we saw him with a child in his hand. I don't know if you saw that picture. And the media was very happy about his stance. But instead of doing this, how about opening Rafah, for example, Rafah, or actively helping if it really wants to help Palestine? Why not send arms, for example? Why just talk? Why only talk?
Well, it's clear that there are tunnels into Gaza. I mean, this is an accepted fact, and they're very busy. I get the feeling they're being, as we are talking now, there are missiles being shipped in. So there might be some Egyptian complicity. Now, I don't know if that's from the Muslim Brotherhood or just local, but it seems impossible to stop. I saw Israel was actually bombing the Rafah area, trying to hit the tunnels, but it's been trying for years. It cannot succeed. You suggested that, I mean, why is Israel trying to get a ceasefire now? Isn't it the great superpower with the fourth largest army in the world?
Well, the invincible army is not so invincible anymore. Like I already said, Tel Aviv being hit was just a blow for Israel. It really did not expect this to happen, and now when it really, I do feel it when it called for a ceasefire. You can actually sense it is really desperate to get it, because it just didn't plan enough. It didn't expect this to happen. Another example, when you see the residents in Tel Aviv that are actually petrified by sirens and by just rockets that may not even have landed in near them. I actually watched a lot of videos, and the atmosphere is so. It's like it is not Israel anymore. So it may be, I'm sure it is a blow, but it will, and even that, it does not really make them feel how Israel has been making Palestinians live for the past 64 years. So even that, it does not really show the suffering of the Palestinian people. And when you contrast Israelis and Palestinians, don't forget that Israelis were promised peace and prosperity in the new land. So this is even a harder blow for them to absorb.
So what is Nasrallah prepared to do? Is he prepared to start another war to help the Palestinians?
Well, I do believe that he is already helping. This is a fact, and he said it openly, and there is no secrecy about that. Now, to open, you mean an actual and directly enter the war? I honestly cannot say, because I can't really see how it is going. I would like to, for example, let's see how what will happen tonight. There are talks about a truce, even though the Islamic Jihad said that from their side it hasn't been agreed on yet. So, but you never know what will happen on the political scene. For example, the Arab League. I don't know if you've heard what happened. They met yesterday, and Ben Jassim of Qatar said that Arabs are sheep. And yesterday also Nasrallah responded to him that if you are a sheep, that doesn't mean that all Arabs are sheep. So that I just wanted to point that out, because the Arab League is siding falsely with Gaza. It's actually just crying crocodile tears, because if it really wanted to help, it would have helped a long time ago with arms, and it wouldn't have backstab Syria in the back, and it wouldn't have helped the rebels in Syria. So when you see the hypocrisy is really staggering, when you see that they would do whatever they can to arm Syrian so-called rebels, but when it comes to Gaza, when it comes to Palestine, no arms, just talking and words in the air.
I wonder how the FSA, the insurgents in Syria, feel at this time, you know, because aren't they supporting the people of Gaza? They're fighting the people that are supporting the people of Gaza, it seems.
Well, honestly, I haven't really heard any FSA prominent figure say any word about Gaza. And let us not forget that in Syria, the FSA is actually committing massacres against Palestinians in the Yarmouk refugee camp. So this is not to be forgotten. And I would also take the opportunity here to talk about one thing. When people say free Palestine and then directly say free Syria, it just doesn't make sense. When you have in mind that Syria has been with Palestine since the very beginning, seeing these two sentences it just doesn't make sense, and it actually falls in the Zionist agenda that we all know their implications in the Syrian proxy war.
You know, finally, you're not Syrian, but I'll ask you, is Syria capable of engaging in a war with Israel at this time, or all its hands are tied?
Well, its hands are tied with what is happening on its territory, and I would hope that it can engage in a war, because it kind of seemed imminent. However, when you have let us not also forget that if a war happens, it will not only be from the Israel side, but also from the Turkish side up north. So this is not to be forgotten. I believe that if Syria really wants to be victorious, it should take it should take the initiative, so it can itself set the rules of the game. But if the rules of the game are imposed on it, that may seem a little, a little difficult, if I may say.
You've been very clear and good to us. I've no more to ask you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.